Hey everyone, it's Makaliah with Mak and Makeup, and I'm doing another bake with me because I feel like they're fun. I love baking, and instead of me just like meal prepping for like 2 seconds, I decided why not do these bake with me's now that I'm trying to kind of make that happen in my life and become an at-home baker. So this episode is focused around macarons, and I made the ones using the pies and taco recipe, and I will link that down below. I thought this would be my saving grace with macarons. I thought I would finally figure it out. You guys will see later. I, in fact, did not, but they actually taste really good. So anyways, I'm just kind of like pre-measuring out all my ingredients and getting everything ready because if anyone knows with macarons, there's like a lot of prep work involved, and then like I don't know, it's just a lot of tender loving care that is needed. So I'm just going ahead and putting my powdered sugar and almond flour in my little I don't know what you call those little like mixer things, and I just do that to kind of help break it down for sifting. It just makes it a lot faster than having to try and sift it all. So I'm gonna sift it into that bowl, and then whatever's left over I put back into that little spinny thing and I spin it around again, and we do the do-si-do one more time, and then usually by then it's good to go. So that just makes it all nice and extra sifted and fluffy like it's supposed to be. And when I'm done with that, I kind of put it to the side and I start working on the meringue. I think that's how you say it. I'm actually not sure, but in this recipe, you take the sugar and the egg whites and you put them in a bowl and you mix them over like a saucepan that is not boiling, but sort of boiling, like just enough, you know? And I don't know, I was a little weirded out by it because I have never done it this way before. It didn't take that long for it to all kind of like mix together and dissolve, but I don't know, it was like kind of weird. So this part was kind of like the biggest difference between how I normally make them to this recipe, and I feel like I'm probably just gonna go back to the way I originally make it and just take extra care with measuring, sifting, and doing all that, because it took a very long time to get my soft peaks doing it this way. Like I'm talking, it took me an extra 10 minutes, I think. So anyways, I finished with that, and then I went ahead and dumped that egg sugar syrup mixture, whatever you want to call it, into my stand mixer, and I basically put that on speed 2 for like 30 seconds, and then I increased it to speed 4 for about 2 minutes, and then I increased it to speed 5 and then eventually speed 6, and I did that for like 25 minutes. I don't even remember how many 5-minute timers I set, but I wanted to check on it obviously every now and then to make sure it was getting to the consistency that I needed. So eventually it will, I'm prepping basically for the dispersal of the macaron. So I did show it in its fluffy stage. It looked nice and good, like how it's supposed to. It took a while to get to that stage, but we got there, and now I'm just slowly mixing in my powdered sugar and almond flour that has been sifted. So once I get that all mixed it is not a word. Once I get that all mixed, I went ahead and laid out a piece of cling wrap, and I basically put half the batter on it, rolled it up into a nice cling wrap taco or burrito, if that's what you want to call it, and I put it in a piping bag, and I went ahead and piped out these macarons. The one thing is I felt like everything was a little too wet. Could have totally been my bad. I could have done something wrong here. I'm not saying pies and tacos doesn't have a good recipe, because lots of people make it happen. I just really did something wrong. Something happened. I don't know what. I can't figure it out, but it was almost too watery. So you probably won't be able to see me actually piping them out for a second because I was totally blocking. I was just in my element and I had to move really quick because this stuff was just like goo, gabagoo. And it looks fine there, right? Like you're looking at it, yeah, it looks pretty decent, but it just was not like thick enough, and there was just something wrong. Like it was just spreading out way too much. And when I do my second round of piping out these macarons, it just went really downhill. So again, we're still trying to get to that point of being able to make these successfully and have a successful recipe that I can replicate, you know, for millions and billions of times. I'm really good at making cookies. I'm really good at making cakes. I'm really good at making cupcakes. I can make brownies. I can make any dessert you want. But if you ask me to make these French cookies, I can't do it. So yeah, it got very not messy, but just like the piping looked horrible. Just wait, it's about to be a jump scare. I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like before I put in the yeah, jump scare. They're all so clumped together. What is that snowman? I don't even know. Ugly, ugly. Bye-bye. And then the next scene is me showing how long I put them in for, which was 20 minutes, which is perfect cooking time at 310 degrees Fahrenheit. That was fabulous. Everything else about them, not so fabulous. So here's me pulling them out of the oven. Another jump scare, but they looked perfect as far as like the texture, the cooking time, like everything about them was perfect, minus just how like spread out they were and how clumped they were together. I did something wrong. Like it's almost like the batter needed to be a little bit more thicker, and I feel like it would have been fine. So here's me after letting it cool for about 10 minutes or so, taking a macaron off. Yeah, that happened. It lost its butt, but that's okay. Like I said, I tasted one. They tasted fine. I had no problems with the taste, and everything was cooked thoroughly. It just literally, they all like spread out and clumped together and created mayhem. So I got about 6 cookies, so 12 shells total out of this to make sandwiches, and I put them in the freezer, and I'm gonna do this next weekend. So I'll see you guys in that video, and we'll make those little cookies together. But that was it for this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I promise I'm trying to do better. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.